These are the words of Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who ruled in an era of storms and wars, while remaining an example of inner peace. How did he do it? If you want to understand how not to lose your mental balance in a world of chaos and constant stress, watch this video to the end. I'll tell you 3 simple tips from the great Stoic that you can apply today to gain strength inside yourself. I remember once when I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown myself, when a lot of things and uncertainty fell down at once. That was the first time I got acquainted with the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and realized that calmness is not the absence of problems, but the ability to cope with them. And now the question that will run through the entire video. How did the emperor, whose life was full of dangers and surprises, remain calm? What helped him not to succumb to fear and irritation? The answer awaits you further. Accept reality for what it is, the key to inner peace. Marcus Aurelius taught that we have no control over external circumstances, only over our attitude towards them. Imagine that you are on a rough sea. You do not control the waves, but you can control the sails. Mind control is the first step to freedom. Stoics said, "We don't suffer from events, but from our judgments about them. If anxiety and anger appear, it's not because of the situation, but because of your thoughts. Keep track of them and change their negative attitudes. Live in the here and now. Don't give power to the past and the future." Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that the past had already passed and the future was a mystery. The only time where you can act is in the present moment. It is awareness of the present that is the cure for anxiety. Practice. In the morning, ask yourself the question, what depends on me today? This simple exercise helps you focus on real control and let go of worries about what is beyond your control. Emotions are not enemies, but signals that need to be understood rather than suppressed. The Stoics did not forbid feeling, but they taught us not to let emotions control us. Conscious observation of emotions is an effective method that helps you stay calm. Let's recall the story of Marcus Aurelius in the army. On the verge of battles, he found time for reflection and letters. Even in the midst of chaos, he practiced an internal dialogue that guided his thoughts in a constructive direction. This is an example for us. In any conditions, you can find a respite for the soul. Practice. Keep a diary of thoughts and feelings. Writing helps to sort out the chaos in your head. Marcus Aurelius wrote his reflections not just for himself, but to keep his mind in check and find balance. Inner peace is not the absence of problems, but the ability to look them in the eye and move on. When you accept that life is full of challenges, fear decreases. We are not fighters against circumstances, but captains of our soul. Practice. Use the detached observer technique. Look at the problem as an outside observer, not a participant. This makes it possible not to dwell on the negative and make decisions soberly. Inspiring fact. Marcus Aurelius often repeated to himself the phrase, "Everything passes," to remind himself of the transience of any difficulties. When you feel that the situation is pressing, remember, this is also temporary. A tip for everyday life. Create a small mindfulness ritual. 5 minutes of breathing exercises or meditation. It brings you back to the present moment and strengthens your inner shield. Marcus Aurelius taught, focus on your responsibilities and act in good faith without expecting a reward. This approach relieves the pressure of expectations and allows you to remain calm even in unstable conditions. Practice. Before an important task, remind yourself, my task is to do my best. The result is not under my control. It helps to reduce anxiety levels and be more productive. Emotional outburst. Remember that inner peace is a skill, not a gift. It can be developed like muscles through regular practice and discipline, as Marcus Aurelius did. The final chord of the main part is inner peace, based on honesty with oneself and taking responsibility for one's inner world. This is the philosophy of Stoicism in its purest form. We have analyzed 3 key tips from Marcus Aurelius that will help you find inner peace even in the most turbulent times. Accept reality, control your thoughts, and live in the present moment. This is not magic, but simple and effective practices that you can start applying today. Try to keep a diary, ask yourself the right questions in the morning, and observe your emotions without judgment. And you will see how your inner world will change. As Marcus Aurelius would say, don't waste time thinking about things that aren't under your control. Take responsibility for your soul, and peace will come. If you are inspired by this conversation, be sure to watch the following video on the channel. There we will dive even deeper into Stoic practices for everyday life. Stay calm, and the peace inside you will be stronger than ever.